Welcome back to the Trading Desk. We were talking a little bit about the stock market and the big rally. I think locally, how that transitions and how we see the local marketplaces. We were just saying off camera here that it feels a little soft around here. The numbers have been negative. 17% unemployment in Bend. Probably a little higher.
It's horrific.
And I'll tell you, it feels a little ugly downtown. My office is downtown. The whole feel downtown has changed. I keep seeing spun articles in the bulletin about, they're taking away the police patrol. Well, they never had a police patrol, so that we all know that's politicking for more bond money to get more policemen. But there was never a police force presence anyways down there, so that's fear mongering. Yeah. But it is a different downtown. There's pandering. There's people down there asking for money every day. A lot of vacancies.
I think when you see some of the big box stores going out, then you know there's issues. I mean, Linens and Things, Joe's, Office Depot are all
Gottschalk's.
Gottschalk's is a big
between
one.
those 4 spots alone, you're talking 200,000 feet.
And how long are those spots? There's nothing that's going to come along and fill those in a long time.
You have 50,000 square foot plus joints that are just hanging there.
What I keep thinking of is so many people thought Bend was going to be insulated from any kind of that we're special, that we're going to have such an influx of population here that's going to keep the economy growing, and we never have anything to worry economically. And the local governments and everybody made predictions of the population and the local economy is going to be X 10 years, 15 years down the line.
And you can't do that on a one-dimensional economy.
Well, it turns out that we're a small community, and just like a small stock in the stock market, you're going to have big volatility. Right. You're going to have, if you have a boom in Oregon, you have a huge boom in Bend. If you have a bust in Oregon, and we have one of the worst economies statewide in the country, you're going to have a big bust in Bend. I mean,
well,
it's just the volatility.
Again, let's get back to basics. I mean, you look at what you were reading about again when we started the show, and we were talking about at least 05, 06. You were reading about industrial space. There was no space here in Bend, and that may still be the case. Talking to a couple realtors actually this morning that I ran into on the street in Redmond, he said there's so much industrial space, and they haven't done a transaction since November. And the prices he said are back to 1999 prices already for industrial.
Yeah, but if you're let's say you're from out of state, you're not coming to Oregon. Is no longer now attractive.
It's not business friendly. First of all,
because they're going to be hiking rates, more fees. So if you're weighing between, let's say, Washington, Oregon, or let's say Wyoming.
Yeah, and again, we never were Aspen, and nor will we ever be Aspen.
They're raising the beer tax 1,900%, so screw it, I'm not moving to Oregon.
If I'd known that 4 years
beer,
but the reality is what this area is known for, and I think we'll go back to this. This is a tourist town, unless you can bring your job, you can bring your job and bring your employees. It's going to go back to what its core competencies are, which are tourism and beauty.
And that's not high-paying jobs. What gives me hope, though, is I really do think over the last 5 or 10 years, a real entrepreneurial community has grown in Bend.
Yeah.
People, smart people coming from the Bay Area, whatever, that worked in, dynamic industries, tech, and are coming up with, and that's why it's great we have the venture conference here, is because we do have that community, and I think maybe that's one reason the unemployment rate is pretty high. Is I think a lot of these people don't have jobs, but they're putting new businesses together, new technologies together.
And I think if you get that groundswell of opportunities going in those areas, instead of concentrating on fast money and real estate development, and that's gone. That is gone for a generation.
So never come back.
Get rid of it. It's gone.
Right.
So. Yeah. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion on the local economy, and we'll have a few more thoughts on the process and where the city is heading.